seeing it right now as Kevin
Yep.
is moving the camera around because I think they're about to try and speak with someone
Yes,
here.
it looks like one of the workers from a pizza place there.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can listen in.
I'm going to ask you to say and spell your first and last name for us.
Sure. First name Kevin. Last name is spelled P-H-A-Y-M-E, pronounced Fame.
And then your title.
My title, I'm the general manager here at Empire Pizza in Mint Hill.
Perfect. So talk to us about what some of your employees shared with you today.
So, yes, a little earlier this morning, a couple of my employees were on a smoke break and they were just on the side of the patio. They didn't hear gunshots, but they did see two officers enter into the edibles establishment. They saw one of the officers come out, had blood on his face, and he was being brought out by his partner. And he was down, and then we saw them go back in, like another officer went back in. We understand that the suspect was shot and killed. That's all we heard. But the officers here at Mint Hill, our hearts go out to them because they come to Empire Pizza often and they frequent here. So our prayers go out to them and their families. You know, it's unfortunate the day after Christmas that we have to hear something like this take place. So
I think sometimes
so sad.
it puts in perspective the dangerous job that police officers work. I mean,
Absolutely, absolutely. They're hardworking. They always keep Mint Hill. You never hear anything like this happening in Mint Hill because they do a great job of keeping the place safe, keeping the community safe. And you know, whenever they stop through, we always try to make sure we take care of them and just thank them for their services that they provide to the community.
Can you describe what the scene was like out here, or what did your workers say the scene was like?
It was hard to say what the scene was like because it was everything happened so quickly. Just seeing the officer and blood on his hands and another one down. Once the paramedics arrived, they started to provide, they didn't have to provide CPR, which was a good sign, which we saw. But we did see that they were down and the EMS tended to him real quickly and, you know, got on it real fast.
Were the officers helping each other, or did it look like they were comforted or helping each other?
The officers were helping each other initially, and then once EMS arrived on the scene, they were really swift in responding, you know, to helping the officer. We saw movement from the officer because once they had him on the gurney, we did see that. So that was a positive sign that we believed that he was okay. We did get word from one of the police officers that we are close friends with that they said that he was, you know, both officers are doing a little bit better. So our prayers just go out to them. We just, you know, wish them all the best. So unfortunate once again that this took place day after Christmas.
And you said that when this happened, you told your staff to lock their doors.
Absolutely. Once we heard it, we didn't know because it happened so quickly. We didn't know if it was active shooting taking place. So the response was just to come inside, let's lock the doors until we get further information. Let's secure our business and make sure everybody's safe. And as the general manager, that's one of my duties, just to make sure that my team is safe, make sure everybody's okay. And then once we get word from law enforcement or the authorities, then we went ahead and then opened up for business. But it's so unfortunate to hear that.
last thing for me, Kevin, and it's
Yes, sir.
what was it like to get that word that those officers are doing better?
That was comforting. Of course, our prayers still go out to them because nobody ever wants to receive that call, family members or their loved ones, that this took place any day, much less the day after Christmas. But to hear that they're at least in stable condition was definitely comforting. And like I said, our prayers are going to continue to go out to them.
So can you say and spell your name again for me?
Sure. First name Kevin, last name Fame, P-H-A-Y-M-E, pronounced Fame.
Thank you, Kevin.
My
That
pleasure.
makes, that makes our job easier. Just
General manager.
Okay, so that was the general manager of Empire Pizza, a nearby business, recounting what he saw. And it sounds like, from his perspective, he actually got a pretty clear view of what he says happened here. Again, I want to be clear that just because a witness says something does not mean it's confirmed by police. We are still waiting for the public information officer from Mint Hill PD or a neighboring agency to tell us some more information officially from police. But from this man's perspective, his name's Kevin Fame, he says that he also can confirm this may have been more related to the edible arrangements than we originally suspected.
Yeah, it seems like some aspect of it took place inside. At the very least, we know the two officers went inside of that edible arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
One officer came outside, covered his face in blood, with his partner helping him out. Now, we presume, we do not know this is purely conjecture at the time, but we assume the two officers that he named, having gone in and out of that edible arrangements, are the ones who are currently battling gunshot wounds. Hopefully, we'll get further clarification clarification from officials soon. But I mean, this interview with this general manager painting a much clearer picture, I think, of what may have happened earlier this morning.
Yeah, and as we were just kind of hypothesizing maybe what was going on in this situation, but it is odd for a situation like this to happen potentially inside of a business. And so hoping to get some more information on that soon. And it is also, though, good news that he reiterated kind of what Mayor Dalton said about they are awake and alert. He mentioned that, of course, emergency crews were on scene very, very quick. EMS response, I'm sure, was very swift for a call like this, but they did not have to perform CPR from what he could see, which is a very good sign. He said at one point the officers were helping each other. And so really speaks to, hopefully, what we really, really hope is going to be a smooth recovery for these two officers. So a lot of information that we are still waiting to get, but that definitely helped clear things up. And we're going to have that interview cut pretty quickly here so that we can play it back if you missed the first part of that. That first part was really where he kind of unpacked his perspective from what he saw, where you described just the very graphic, seeing the blood and the officers come out. And so we're going to play that back for you in a little bit.